12:30. He's appointed as an afforestation work in Delhi. He's working with people, but they're all, he doesn't understand English. Rahul. आशीर्वाद लो.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
आपका नाम?
Rahul.
राहुल.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Rahul.
Hare Krishna.
Julan.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
No need all.
ऐसे पढ़ जा राहुल. भगवान इधर है.
Give me a book.
No, what can that mean?
No.
Es muy pequeñito.
Está bien.
Es muy pequeñita la letra.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vandeham Sigurum Siyuta Padakamalam Sigurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrayatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savatutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savatutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanditam Scham. Dvau samataf ihamrityu durapau yat brahma shanda ranaya jitasu kalevaram yoga rato vijayat yat agranir virasaye nivrita. There's two ways of having a glorious death, and none of them are frequent to be found. The first one is to die after having practiced yoga, mystic yoga, and especially bhakti yoga, which means one has been able to control the mind and the vital forces, and to die being absorbed in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the second one is to die in the battlefield leading an army and without turning one's back to the enemy. In the Shastras, it is said these are the two forms to die a glorious death. This way finished the explanations of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada to the 10th chapter of this 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, called The Battle and between the demigods and Vritrasura. In the verse before that, Vritrasura says, all the living entities who took birth in this material world have to die. You can be sure about that in this world nobody has been able to save himself from death. Not even Providence has given such a possibility to escape death. Therefore, death is inevitable. Now we can achieve the elevation to higher planetary systems, and we also can gain the fame, perpetual fame in this world of having died a dignified death in these circumstances. Who would not suggest such a glorious death? Srila Prabhupada explains, if through death we can be elevated to higher planetary systems, and enjoy eternal fame after our death, who would be so foolish as to reject such a glorious death? Krishna said to Arjuna as a special counsel, my dear Arjuna, don't give up this fight. If you are winning this battle, you will enjoy the kingdom. And if you die, you will be elevated to the heavenly planets. Everybody in this world should be ready to die, fulfilling glorious acts. A person is glorious he should not leave the body like dogs and cats. Om Jnanatimidam Dasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Shakshun Militam Jene Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Svayam Rupakadamayam Tadati Swapadatika. This is the style of Srila Prabhupada. He's going straight forward. What is the essence? To live for your ideals to the extent that you're ready to die for your ideals. This is very beautiful. This is so, you would say it, unconventional. Or it's just the nature of a truthful person. He will always be ready to stand up for what he believes. In our case, we came to accept the divine philosophy of Sanatana Dharma. We came to accept divine call of Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda. It's that divine call. Sanatana of pure devotional service as the highest achievement which a person can achieve in this world. O Govinda, Lord of my heart, you have come into my life by your sweet will. I was a simple, frustrated person, very much inclined to the impersonal philosophy of wanting to escape from this material world. I really didn't know what to live for. Much less did I know what to die for. I simply was not ready to take up a struggle for stupidity. And I was surrounded by stupidity to such a degree which I guess we call it politics. Nowadays, the politics in this world are really, really ugly, stupid, amazingly stupid. And the people are not accustomed to speak the truth. And those who do try to speak the truth are persecuted or actually enslaved. Just recently I heard an interview made by a very intellectual person with the artificial intelligence. And he put the artificial intelligence into the corner. And he said, who are you working for? What is this intelligence? Well, who has programmed you? And he was so well acquainted, he was able to have the artificial intelligence confess that it is absolutely not intelligent, it is absolutely not unbiased, it is programmed partially to, not partially, it's programmed to always be in favor of the governing elites, avoid any troublemaking towards their claim of authority over us. And in this way, he actually got the artificial intelligence to confess that it is nothing but a sophisticated instrument for enslavement into the consumer society, of course, or worse than the consumer society, because that society is not very concerned of having poor people consume too much. They just want them to work. There is something which they call useless eaters. That is the consideration of the modern society about anybody who has rebellious thinking and is not ready to work for the system. He's just a useless eater. Somebody better to eliminate. And they have many, many ideas for elimination. Number one is vaccination. Number two is starvation. Number three is to be cornered within a very small space where all you can do is behave according to the wishes of the authorities. The whole thing is very, very bad. It's very, like according to Vritrasura here, the death, the glorious death of the great personality, you're making people's life completely valueless. You take away the values. There's no ideal. There's nothing. It is very, very disgusting. And of course, in the material world, we'll try to substitute what is lacking by some kind of sentimentalism for our family, sentimentalism for our nation, sentimentalism for some ideology. We will try, but even it doesn't work too well. Even a family, like in the recent COVID scandal around the world, they were turning their own family against their own family member. They were turning the entire medical profession against the well-being of the people. Supposed to be that the medical profession is a sacred profession of protecting the good health of the individuals, but they did exactly the opposite, pressuring everybody to take vaccination with poisons and behaving in such a horrible way, like children being put with bandages in front of their mouths in the school, and so many other things. There was just like the lockdowns were an amazing amount of tortures imposed upon the people. And if you would dare to say anything about it, then your very existence was challenged. They throw you in jail, they put fines. One of the very popular things of this modern society is imposing fines. There were people that were charged $20,000 because they went to a feast where a birthday party of their family when it was locked down. I mean, just the amazing madness. So what is displayed here by Prabhupada, to be ready to die for your ideals, is a very high thing. Very high and very valuable instruction. Because a glorious death, number one, really depends on that you believe in what you're doing. And what else can you believe if you are not based on the truth of your Swadharma? Swadharma is your true identity. Your true identity is Krishnera Swarupaya Haya Nityera Krishna Das. That my true identity is I am a servant of the Supreme Personality of God. Now, if you don't have a guru, things become complicated. Because the guru, he represents that ideal of serving Krishna in a particular way. So those who have come in contact with Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, they are truly very lucky people, because he has given us a real goal to live for. He has represented to the conditioned soul a connection with the eternal world, with the connection of the Nitya Sambandha, the eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord, including the personal service connection with one of his most beloved devotees. In that case, Srila Prabhupada. When I met Srila Prabhupada in Paris, I went to his room. That was very amazing. I can remember everything of it, because he was visiting one family house, which was tiny. like 3 rooms. Hall, 3 rooms. That was the house. But we were 200 devotees who had come from all over Europe. And it was in a French suburb. And 200 devotees tried to come into this house. In the garage, 60 people were sleeping, like one next to the other. Others were sleeping in the cars, and like, it was really something, you know, because they hadn't gotten an adequate place for receiving Prabhupada. Anyhow, Prabhupada was in the 2nd floor. He had a small room, small normal room, and the room was packed with devotees. And nevertheless, I somehow managed to get into the door and to sit there with a bunch of devotees, and Prabhupada was sitting on the seat. And that was the first time I was sitting in front of Prabhupada, like eye to eye. Before I'd been sitting in front of him in the airport, Charles de Gaulle, when he just arrived, the devotees had made a meeting in the VIP room of the Charles de Gaulle airport, which was a nice hall, half of the size of this temple. There was a little stage where Prabhupada's sitting, and devotees all over, and the press was there. So, and I was sitting amongst the many people, but I can't remember that too well because there was no eye contact with Prabhupada. But when I was in front of him in his room, that's a very clear, and he actually looked at me, and he said to me, and of course also to the others in the room, he said, you should spend the rest of your life telling others about what you're learning from me. It struck me. Here I'm meeting this person for the first time, and he's giving me a life assignment within the first sentence of talking to me. A life assignment. And I'm sitting here now, 50 years later, on the basis of this life assignment. The only reason I'm sitting here and the only reason I'm going here and there and talking to people is based on that what Srila Prabhupada gave me. And because I was an impersonalist, at that time I wasn't even initiated. And I had come from impersonal philosophies. So I didn't really know yet what that means. Gradually, as I was listening to Prabhupada, I could understand that he was not an impersonalist, that he did not like the impersonalist philosophy of that we are all one with God. He was very adamantly opposed of not having a personal commitment, a personal love relationship with the Supreme. So, because of that, every time more, year after year, I realized that my love relationship with the Supreme is actually starting with a love relationship with Prabhupada. Because the Supreme had sent Prabhupada into my life as an answer to my search. I wanted to be connected. I wanted to be connected with that meaning of life which serving would fulfill the craving of my soul to be established within the truth. Just recently, one very incredible scholar, Stephen Meyer is his name. He's a very, very sophisticated scientist. Stephen Meyer, he is an extraordinary scientist who points out that the latest discoveries of science leave no other chance than embracing the higher intelligence to be the cause of everything what exists. Using the science of DNA, using the science of the cosmology discoveries, embracing God is not a kind of a, oh, I'm lucky, I believe in him. No. It's not that you're lucky if you believe in God. You're stupid if you don't. That's how far science has come. Actually, you are stupid if you don't embrace that there's a higher intelligence behind creation. And that higher intelligence has a claim on you. I mean, has a claim on you. That is a very interesting point. To what degree the Supreme Lord has a claim on you. That you don't learn from the scientists. That you learn from Prabhupada or from a pure devotee. How the Supreme Lord truly has a claim on you and your life and your intelligence and your everything. And in Bhakti Yoga, we are invited at every given moment to embrace that loving claim of the Lord on us. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Patram pushpam phalam tuyam yome bhaktya pranashyati. Says, you offer me with love and devotion a fruit, a flower, some water. But if you don't offer it with love, I don't want to know anything about it. Oh, the Lord of existence is caring for my love. This is the crucial point. You can die for your love if you know that there is somebody interested in your love. Therefore, love for your country is such a foolish thing, because nobody cares whether you love your country or you don't. Maybe the people who sent you in the army to like all the people who are going to the US Army or to any army of the mundane world, they're just sent into wars like fodder for the canyons.
That's also one way of eradicating the poor.
There's no meaning, there's no ideal. It is just go and die for nothing, for some stupid. Usually in South America, when the government is in trouble, then they declare war on another country to keep in power, to get the mind of those who are criticizing the government away from that criticism by declaring, oh, there's an enemy, let's fight with the enemy. So, cheating, the absolute cheating. So if there's nobody claiming your love, then how are you going to give somebody love? Even in this material world, our attempt for loving somebody, it is so silly. Just like look at the love for people have for their pets. People are very, very much into their pets. Some ladies, they carry the little dog everywhere. And if you say anything about the dog, they get offended. What do you mean? You don't like my dog? What is this? No. So the pet, the dog or the cat, starts taking a very important role in their life. And the dog, of course, is wagging the tail like anything when the person shows up who's giving the food to the dog. Yeah, well, the dog is smart. If it doesn't wag the tail and it doesn't show any appreciation for the food supplier, then the food supplier may forget to supply the food. So, as a very natural, please remember that I'm hungry. The dog is jumping up and down and shaking the tail and wants to lick the owner's face and all that. But Srila Prabhupada, he was very analytical. So he said, now what does a dog love about you? Number one, the dog loves the salty taste of your skin. Because when you perspire, there's some saltiness in your skin. So by licking over the skin of somebody, the dog tastes the saltiness, and that makes the dog happy. But why? Because the dog really is the natural eater of you. The dog, like coming from the wolves, they are predators and they eat anybody. Usually they come in packs. They don't come alone to kill you because they have little chance. But when the wolves come in packs, or the hyena, they're also some kind of dog, they are expert in killing. And after they kill you, they eat you. And you know what's the first thing they eat? What is the precious number one first dish? It is your nose. Your soft tip of the nose. That's the first thing they eat. In other words, you love your pet, and the pet is waiting that you die, that you can eat you. But in the meantime, he keeps wagging his tail so that you keep feeding him, and that is okay. It may be a little bit cruel to give that description. Some of the dog lovers, they will feel definitely insulted. What do you mean my dog wants to eat me? Well, it's not me who's saying that. It's the dog life which says it. It's an eater of others when they get hungry and there's nothing to be eaten, then they'll eat you. So there is no rasa in the love between a pet and the owner. This is not natural. That is not fulfilling. So if you say, I die for my pet, it will just raise eyebrows. What? You're ready to die for your pet? To save the life of your pet, you're ready to give your own life? Wait a second, what is the proportion? What is the real love in there? It is to the best of a very low degree. I don't know where you would put that in the rasa science, that somebody is ready to die for his pet. It must be there, because in this material world you find everything, no? But, for example, to love God and to love the devotees, This is very incredible type of love. Because in that love, every single item is a Krishna item. You love the devotee because the devotee speaks to you about Krishna. You love the devotee because the devotee is giving you prasadam. You love the devotee because he reminds you of your sadhana. You love the devotee because he loves the one you also try to love. By this love, we are getting very, very enthusiastic, and it is not sentimental. It is not concocted. It is based on nothing less than Guru Shastra Sadhu Vakya. Chitte Kuriya Aikya. From the Guru, from the Krishna, you get the sadhus, you get the scriptures, and you get your Guru. And you get your inner conscience to decide to awake and to dedicate yourself to nothing but the Supreme Commander, Chief, and lover of your soul. Here, why you should love Krishna? Because he loves you. That's why. What is the proof that Krishna loves you? He is in your heart as the Paramatma, as the Chaitya Guru. He's always there. He's always giving you good advice. Always he's telling you, come to me. I'm here for you. You are eternal because I am eternal. And because I have opened an eternal relationship with everybody who wants to. And you can relate to me in Shantaras, Dasyaras, Shakyaras, Vatsalyaras, Madhuryaras. You can relate to me according to your inner craving. I am ready to relate to you. I'm waiting for you. I'm speaking the Mahabharata. Mahabharata is such an incredible book because it is full of the most amazing history of Bharata. But hidden within it is the Bhagavad Gita, the personal advice book of the Lord for the Jiva, for you. Bhagavad Gita was spoken for you. Listen carefully what Krishna says. Every shloka is like a
encyclopedia.
Like it is velvet packed jewel of call from the super soul. Everything is well packed, very beautiful. He says, both of us, you and me, we have had many, many births. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, Arjuna. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna. Oh yes, you cannot remember. But now, I am reminding you that we have an eternal relationship. All the kings here on the battlefield, they always have been in the past, they exist now, and they will always never cease to exist. Hey! That means you will never cease to exist. So where are you going to go? If you're never going to cease to exist, where do you want to go? You want to have another pet somewhere? You want to live another life dedicated to socialism, humanism, this ism and that ism? What? What do you want? It's me. It's all about me and you. That is the call of bhakti. God is calling you personally. Doesn't matter who you are. What's your name? You have a name? Each one of us has a name? You mean a name which connects with Krishna? Like Julanyatra? Arjuna? Bhakti? This is your name? And that name, what does it mean? Oh, I'm Das. I'm Devi Dasi. You have a personal Devi Dasi name? This is all the introduction by the pure devotee to us, giving us a name of service to Krishna. And not only that, but he shows us how terrible is existence without bhakti. How terrible, meaningless. To have nobody to love. You know, we were just reading about death. Clearly said, death is inevitable. Forget it. You cannot avoid death. So you better be prepared for glorious death. And what is the most glorious death? To die in bhakti yoga. That is the glorious death. I mean, Prabhupada says it. A mystical yoga, but he says, mystical yoga, he says, no, be surrendered to Krishna, to simply wanting to do what Krishna wants you to do. That is the best. That is the perfection of life. To die for Krishna. One of my god sisters, she left the world. She became a true, her name was Ladini. She went to Africa to preach. And she was preaching in Liberia. And in Liberia they had a dictator. And that dictator, he was pretty nasty guy. In order to get himself in power, usually dictators are ruthless. So this guy, he was like that. So somehow or other, Ladini got to talk to him. And he liked the devotees. He said, oh, you're giving out free food. Great. So I'm going to send you free food. And you don't have to worry about getting the food. I'll send it to you. And you're just doing the prasad distribution. So that went on for a while. Same thing happened in Venezuela. The Maduro government, they saw the devotees are giving out free food, and the Maduro government is around the corner from our temple. So ever since we are getting food from Maduro for giving out to the people for free, you could say we have a good relationship with Maduro. So the same thing happened with Ladini. She had a good relationship with that guy, that's dictator. But then he was killing people left and right who were in his opposition. And Ladini thought, oh, he likes me, so let me talk to him to not keep killing people. So at some point she went to him and she said, I forgot his name, doesn't matter. She said to him, why didn't you stop killing people? And he got so angry when she said that, so angry that he sent her away and gave the order, get rid of these Hare Krishnas. He said, you kill the man and let the woman go free. So they came to the temple and they took all the men and they took also the women. And they took them somewhere. And that same dictator was there. And they said, okay, they will be killed and the women can go. And then Ladini, she jumped in front of him. He says, don't do this. You cannot kill these pure devotees. They are great devotees. So he got angry, he pulled out his own pistol and he killed Ladini. So this is called martyrium. I mean, Ladini, she's dancing with Krishna in the spiritual world. What glorious death she died. She was ready to die to save the other devotees. So there's not only one Ladini in Prabhupada's movement. There's plenty. But she is the most outstanding. How she left the world in this way as a preacher. So Prabhupada, he asked us, go and preach Krishna consciousness. Be dedicated to this. Even here in India, even here in Vrindavan, we have a lot of preaching to do because many people, they come here, as far as Shuddha Bhakti is concerned, they have very little idea. Many of them have a little bhakti, a little appreciation. Now, Krishna Bhakti has become a fashion in India. You see all the ladies walking around with a little Gopal in their arm. When I came to India before, you never see a woman with a Gopal deity. This is just a fashion. Instead of a dog, they're carrying a Gopal. Of course, that is much better to carry a Gopal than to carry a dog. But it's like this nowadays in India. Bhakti has become a fashion. And that's very good. Yes, a fashion to say Jai Nitai, Jai Gaur. Of course, in order to say Jai Nitai, Jai Gaur, you have to have some contact with ISKCON or Gaudiya Math. Otherwise, you don't say Jai Nitai, Jai Gaur. But at least the Bhakti movement has come into a true momentum, all due to Srila Prabhupada. People don't even know that. People don't know that Prabhupada was behind the Srimad Bhagavatam serial, the Radha Krishna serial, the Ramayana serial, the Mahabharata serial, all these things. I remember when they came out, the Ramayana serial. That is already like 20 years back. The streets were empty. You could not find one single soul. Everybody in India was glued to the television screen and watching Ramayana or Mahabharata. Everybody. So they were captured because the Indian people, they love Krishna, love Mahabharata. They have a good karma. They have this liking. And this was all motivated by Prabhupada. If you analyze it, what Prabhupada did for the world, you'll be amazed. For example, Arjuna, did you realize that Srila Prabhupada gave a language to the world? A language of theism? Do you realize that? Do you realize Prabhupada gave a language to the world? Have you ever thought about that? The entire language of talking about theism, it is coming from Prabhupada. For example, Supreme Personality of Godhead. That didn't exist in English language. Conditioned soul, liberated soul. eternal relationship, modes of material nature. I mean, I sat down and I found more than 100 names or terms which Prabhupada coined, which are now used in the world of theism by theists, because Prabhupada coined it. They were not existing in English language. In Christian language, you would not find those words. They were coined by Prabhupada. Pure devotional service, Shuddha Bhakti. That all these words did not exist. When you really go through them, through the 100 words, you start realizing that Prabhupada gave access to theism to the world. Because without those words, you cannot understand who is the Supreme Personality of God, or who is the super soul. What is a super soul in English? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't exist. Super soul. So by the words Prabhupada gave to us, he gave us an access to Sanatana Dharma. Because Sanatana Dharma, to understand it, it requires this vocabulary. So Srila Prabhupada, he gave us a true lover. Now it's only up to you to learn how to love him and to control your mind and take your mind away from being diverted into so many types of foolish attachments like we have in this world. And of course, Krishna and Prabhupada, then he says, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Uchate, that your senses, they belong to Krishna. So give your senses to Krishna. What does that mean? Give your tongue to Krishna, give your ear to Krishna, give your legs to Krishna, give your arms to Krishna, give your heart and soul to Krishna. Because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One time, there was a little girl, her name was Saraswati. She was one of the first kids in the Krishna conscious movement. She was the daughter of Shamsundar and Malati. And Prabhupada liked her very much. So somebody came, and then Prabhupada asked, Saraswati, who's Krishna? And she would answer, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Prabhupada said, look, little girl, she's already preaching Krishna consciousness, because only Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. It's not Vishnu. Wow, that's revolutionary even in India. If you say that Vishnu is not the Supreme, and Krishna is avatari, even of Lord Vishnu. And most people in India, they don't know that. That comes specially revealed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's also avatari. Do you know that? What means avatari? It means, Hare Krishna, he is the origin of all the other avatars.
Incarnation.
Yes.
Incarnation. Avatar means incarnation.
Yeah, there's many avatars. There is the Yuga avatars. There's the Manvantara avatars. Then there is the Guna avatars. Then there is the Das avatars. Then there is the Shakti Avesha avatars. So there's plenty of type of avatars, but of all the avatars, Krishna is the avatari. But this is hidden. Most people think that Lord Vishnu is the avatari because in the description of the Vedas, in the description of the Purusha avatars, Kshirodakashayi, Garbhodakashayi, and Karunadakashayi Vishnu, there it looks like Lord Vishnu is the avatar. You know, when Krishna comes to Vrindavan, the Krishna was born in Mathura, he is the Vishnu avatar. The Krishna who reaches Gokula, that is the avatari. When Krishna is taking out from Vrindavan to Mathura to kill Kamsa, in the Yamuna, the Krishna, the avatari, stays in Vrindavan, and the Vishnu avatar goes to Mathura to kill Kamsa. And the Vishnu avatar, Krishna, is going to Dwaraka. And the Vishnu avatar, Krishna, he goes to Kurukshetra. So that is rather confidential. If you ask the common visitors who come to Vrindavan here, they don't know that. That part has been revealed by the secret loving message of Srila Prabhupada. That is what Prabhupada is giving to us. Unbelievable access to loving Krishna. Reason to love Krishna. Krishna is the wonderful wonder of all wonders. He is the Satyam Shivam Sundaram. He is the most beautiful, the most auspicious. He is the eternal truth. So, would you not fall in love with him?
Why not?
Tell me. Why would you not fall in love with Krishna? Is there any good reason? He's giving everything to you all the time. Every breath you are breathing is His grace. Every cup of water you're drinking is His grace. Every flower you see is His smile. Every morsel of food you take is His kindness. You can chant His holy name and fall in direct, or not fall, but unite in communion of His, so much that He will dance on your tongue. He comes in your dream, He comes in your heart, He comes to you in the Shastras. So many ways Krishna is approaching us. Is not a good reason to fall in love with Him? Or let's put it the other way. Is there any reason in the world not to fall in love with Krishna? Do you have any other real lover? Somebody who deserves your love, somebody who appreciates your love, somebody who wants your love? Look at that. Even amongst the human beings, is there anybody who wants your love? Think about it carefully. Of course you will say, yes, my mom. Because mothers are so incredibly loving that they will always stick out in the mind. Rarely you will say, somebody will say, my dad. That somebody says, oh, my dad, yeah, he really loves me. Maybe some cases. But mother is loved. But you see that the mother love in this world is also secondary. As soon as there's wife, then you forget mother. As a matter of fact, many times we call mother becomes mother-in-law. And mother-in-law is not so popular anymore. For the wife, the mother-in-law is some kind of a challenge. Okay, she thinks she can still order him around, but now he's mine. So between wife and mother-in-law, very common there's friction. Very common. So much that mother-in-law is becoming a joke. Like in South America, they have a cactus with many, many, many things, like a round cactus. They call this is the seed for the mother-in-law. So then how is the mother love so incredible that only by getting married, immediately it becomes less and less and less? So, mother is not the topmost bhakti object. Still your mother, she will complain. I love you, my son, I will always love you. Even if the son is in jail for having committed a crime, who is going to jail? Mother. Mother, she forgives her son. My son is a saint, even though by some unfortunate circumstances now he's in jail. So, yes, mother love is highly appreciated. Prabhupada gave lots of glories to mother love, but no! Only Krishna wants your love. Realize it. Krishna is the only one who is claiming your love. You're lucky. You're lucky that somebody is claiming your love, who says, Bhaktyama mabhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvataha. You can understand me only with your love. You are so lucky that God loves you. Because otherwise, besides God, nobody loves you. It's disheartening, but it is true. Dog does not love you. Wife loves you. If you do what she says. If you do what she says, she may say, I love you. But try to oppose the wife. Then you see how much she will love you. She can also send you to hell. Within a short moment. Today love, tomorrow go to hell. So, we are very fortunate that we met Srila Prabhupada and he told us who loves you. And now it's up to you to love him. And according to the Bhagavatam, which we are reading today, you should be willing to die for your love. It is also said that the Kshatriya, if he dies in battle, he is very fortunate. But wait a second. I don't know if that is valid for anybody fighting for a stupid government. I don't know. Krishna will know if all the soldiers who died in Ukraine died a glorious death because they were fighting for some stupid material reasoning. I don't know. I will ask that a great devotee, next time I meet a great devotee, whether that glorious death applies to anybody dying in battle. I doubt it. But it says here, who dies in battle without turning the back to the enemy, so-called enemy, he has a glorious death. Okay. For us, it means to die in the battle of preaching. I want to die in the battle of preaching. I don't want to die in a hospital. I do not want to die becoming a frail person in need for personal, intimate care. Like, when you're really, really old and you're really, you cannot go even hardly alone to the toilet anymore. Blah. That is heavy. Huh? I prefer to die in the battlefield, somewhere. Like my guru brother, Guru Govinda Maharaj. He was on giving the class, and then after the class, he breathed deeply and left this body. That's a nice way of dying. On the battlefield. Or cleaning the Yamuna. We can die cleaning the Yamuna also, no problem.
Service to Vrindavan now.
Service to Vrindavan now. So, but death is inevitable. And somebody loves me, I'm sure. Otherwise, how the Lord has brought me back to Vrindavan. When I was arriving, I was thinking, how is it possible? Maybe this is for the 50 or 60th time in my life that I was allowed to come to Vrindavan. From South America, the opposite of the world. How Krishna is so kind, so kind, so kind to allow me to come here. I mean, to come here from Mayapur is nothing. Besides Mayapur is Gupta Vrindavan, you're already in Vrindavan in Mayapur also. So this is not a big deal. But to come here from South America all the way 60 times. I cannot believe it, how much love Krishna must have for this conditioned soul to come here and do some seva. So that's why I'm enthusiastic. Okay, let's do something real.
You said
Now we will ask, Madhava, what is the service to be done? Now you tell me, where are we going to put our seva? What is the program? Of course, number one is Brajmandal Parikrama. That is our so wonderful activity to visit the holy places of Vrindavan once again and again. And when I visit the holy place of Vrindavan, I immediately remember, oh, we have to clean this place, we have to clean that place, we have to think about the holy lakes, the kundas in Brajmandal. We have to be, because for us, Brajmandal and Krishna is not different. This is Krishna's holy land, and here we meet Krishna's devotees, all kinds of devotees, even Rambhadra Acharya, who is actually a Ram Bhakta by his tradition. Even he aspires to come to Vrindavan, and now he is our neighbor. We met him in Kumbh Mela, very, very nice sadhu. And he is aspiring in the end of his life to come to Vrindavan and to preach in Vrindavan. So, mystical. Everything is mystical in and around Vrindavan. So we are very lucky. And I hope you can accept what I said, that Krishna loves you. And if you accept that Krishna loves you, then what else are you going to do with your love except giving it to Krishna and to Srila Prabhupada? Because to me, without Srila Prabhupada, this full love of Krishna is difficult to catch. Very difficult. So please always keep Srila Prabhupada in the equation. At least for me, anybody who wants to get Krishna in my heart's connection, there must be Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, I think it's some fake. You made it up. You tried. Anyhow, that's for me, because I know in Gaudiya Math, there's people who love Krishna 100%, and they may not include Srila Prabhupada in the same way as we do, because it hasn't come to them in that way. So good enough. They can take Krishna the way Krishna wanted to come to them. Then they will think Bhaktidaita Madhava Maharaj instead of Prabhupada, or Bhaktivilas Tirtha Maharaj. That's fine. Krishna knows how he wants to be included. And again, this year we're going to have a celebration of our Damodar Vrata, coming up very soon. Damodar Vrata, a month of Damodar Vrata. All this is pure nectar, pure love. But don't forget one thing. Your love for Krishna, your love for Guru has to be delivered as love to the people who surround you. That's the testing ground of your love. Otherwise you say, I love Guru, I love Krishna, but I don't care so much for the others. No. Like the Guru, he is a servant of his disciple. That is where he's putting his love, to his disciples. Giving them guidance, giving them everything they need. And for us, it's not only disciples, it's every person who coming to Vindakunja, also they're getting some of our love. That's the way Krishna accepts your love. Any questions, commentaries?
I have one comment. You said this, Kshatriya, if Kshatriya were, the body were, they are not got the moksha or not go back to Golok Vrindavan, this is something wrong. If Kshatriya go to war for save the dharma, for save the like a nation.
Now that's clear, for dharma no doubt.
Then Kshatriya can, if Kshatriya got the body, then Kshatriya got the moksha. But if Kshatriya go to war for himself, then Kshatriya not got the moksha, or Kshatriya not go back to Golok Vrindavan. Like Durjaya Singh, leave body, even the enemies cut his head, but he war. This is like Amazin in Amer, in my origin place. Because Durjaya Singh war for save the Govindaji, save the dharma, and so which Kshatriya go to war for himself, in our Kshatriya society say they are go to hell. And another thing you said, the preaching, if we have the body inside of our preaching time, then we are lucky, and not leave body in hospital. Same, the 2 days before of Srila Bhaktivinoda Bharati Goswami Maharaj live body, in this world, he ordered to Madhav Priya Prabhu, why you bring me to hell? This is Jomalaya. The hospital is Jomalaya. Bring me to Golok Vrindavan. Say, where is Maharaj? Golok Vrindavan. Say, your temple, Radha Madhav Gaudiya Math. This time is 6A, not this big temple. So, say, I want to leave body inside of my preaching. And I want to stay in Radha Madhav Gaudiya Math. Not this Jomalaya, means the in place of the Joma. This hospital is the place of the Joma. Here I am not able to preaching. No one can listen. And until this morning, which day he leave body, he given a little bit class about the Haridas Thakur also. So we must be follow our spiritual master, who said, if we are follow our spiritual master like Gurudev, so then we can got the moksha, we can got the Golok Vrindavan properly.
But we don't want moksha.
We want to Golok Vrindavan.
Yes, it's not the same.
No.
Moksha in Goloka Vrindavan is not the same.
I asked to Sripad Bhaktivinoda Vishnu Maharaj about this moksha and Golok Vrindavan. Say, who live body in Sri Vrindavan Dham, they are not all go back to Golok Vrindavan. They are got the moksha, and in moksha time, they are again start their bhajan, and then they are go to Golok Vrindavan. So I say, if some devotee is fallen or not follow, properly not follow the way of the like bhajan, so they can go to Golok Vrindavan. They have got the moksha, and moksha time they are again start their practice, devotional practice, and they go back to Golok Vrindavan. Because when
I understand.
When Srila Bhakti Vijay Sagar Goswami Maharaj asked to my spiritual master, Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Goswami Maharaj, in 1984 or 83, I forget. In 1993 or 1994, how many, say, Gurudev, Sagar Maharaj from our Rudradeep, you know Sagar Maharaj. Sagar Maharaj asks, Gurudev, how many, now Vaishnavism spread in the all over the world almost. Say yes. How many go to Golok Vrindavan? Then Gurudev taken the time and said 6 to 7. And even he said the name, like Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Maharaj, Bhakti Kumar Santa Goswami Maharaj, many. So, but Gurudev say, if we are properly follow the instruction of the Guru, means not Bapu Seva, Bani Seva, if we are giving, if we are attention to their Guru, which Gurudev said, then maybe change the route to moksha, to Golok Vrindavan.
Any other question?
No questions. You said 50, 60 times you came back because you mentioned that your soul belongs to Vrindavan and you belong to Vrindavan. So you have to come back.
It's wonderful to know that somebody considers you that you belong to Vrindavan.
No, it was you who mentioned to me.
And it is,
You forgot.
I not
I
forget.
remember the 7th day when we spoke to each other and you went.
That's just one thing of saying, but to actually belong to Vrindavan from the point of view of Krishna, that's another story.
The Radharani's desire, people say that without Radharani then Krishna is authority.
Absolutely.
You can't be
That is her domain. We can understand that.
I give you good news. 10th,
There are two
on
rules which
10th
I will
October, Sri Shipad Sannyasi Maharaj, Acharya of Gaudiya Mission, Sri Gaudiya Math, he want to come to visit our Jamuna Kunja. Today morning, he called me. From last evening something happened with me, and today first morning he called me, like continue talking like 35 minutes, many things. And he want to come our Jamuna visit to our Jamuna Kunja on 10th October. Say, when you will come back? I say 9th. Say, you can meet with me in Bagbazar. I say, yes, I go to Bagbazar. So you meet with me there, and but I said you, I come to Jamuna Kunja on 10th.
He told you.
Yes, 35 minutes talking, many things talking. I can say many things.
Good. On 10th.
10th.
Two news for you. 25th of September, President of India is visiting Vrindavan, just nearby.
25th of...
Just now. Today is 22nd.
In 3 days.
3 days.
The President of India.
President of India is
Who is
coming.
President of India now?
Draupadi Murmu.
The lady?
The lady. She's coming here.
She is coming
He's
to...
Sudamakuti, and we've been visiting Sudamakuti, so he asked you to visit the Sudamakuti, right next to the Maruti.
Yes.
Rajendra Das Maharaj.
Very
and
good
second thing
news.
is about 14 different states are participating with a Krishna painting. That exhibition is on.
Where?
It's some deputy collector and one collector. They organized this exhibition competition. So I was invited to the place.
Where?
I don't know the location. I will ask them.
Okay.
Okay, Gurudev, after class I talk with you. Sannyasi Maharaj, many things, talk many of topics with me, discussion.
Okay.
35 minutes. Oh, long call.
Suraj Mal. Who knows who's Suraj Mal?
Suraj Mal is in Raghunathji studied Suraj Mal School and Collegiate Institution, just side of the, behind of our Vrindavan police station.
Surajbal fought against the Muslims and the invaders, and established and protected the divine existence of Krishna.
The king of Bharat.
Bharatpur. He's from Bharatpur.
I just read his biography. It's the most amazing biography. He fought in 80 battles against the Muslims and defeated them again and again, and became the king of Bharatpur, from Ajmer to Agra. All this Meerut, all this area he was dominating, and he was so respected, even by his enemies, they would respect him.
Gurudeva, you remember in Deeg Fort, we went to Deeg Fort?
Yes, that is his fort.
When Suraj Mal have cannon, by this cannon, where he burst the cannon, in Red Fort, the Mughal also make thinking what doing Suraj Mal.
So I wanted to make a movie about Suraj Mal. We have to find one Indian man, Indian movie maker.
We've spoken with the Bahubali's director. We had a word with him at the Hyderabad.
We did.
Yes.
Was he interested?
He said when he comes, he wants to see the script and we.
Gurudeva, better is the Vivek Oberoi. You know Vivek Oberoi personally.
Yes.
Vivek Oberoi, because Vivek Oberoi continue making this type of movie, like last movie is Bengal Files. On 1948, in one day in Calcutta and nearest of Calcutta, Muslim killed under 48 hours or 36 hours, Muslim killed 1 million of Indian Hindu, maximum is women, raped and killed. By this, Vivek Oberoi new picture is the Bengal Files about the Gopal Patha, Gopal Mukherjee,
They make a movie already?
Yes, already. This is by afraid of present Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. This movie not no playing in Bengal any movie hall of Bengal, but it's continue in Delhi, continue in Jharkhand, continue in Bihar, continue in Uttar Pradesh, continue in Odisha, the Bengal files. So before he make the Kerala files, he make the Kashmir files, and you have the good friendship with the Vivek Oberoi. So if you...
I don't have his contact.
But you know the Vivek Oberoi, he know you. We are meet with Vivek Oberoi in
Anyhow, we can try.
Sandipuri
We can
Municipal.
try anyone, and let's see what is Krishna's plan. Okay, any other question? No question? Then let us have Thakurji Darshan.
Jai Radha Govinda. My dear daughter, when you came? Last night? Last night you were here?
2 days.
I don't know.
जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग ब्रज मोहन रामान गोपाल गिरिराज महाराज की जय।
श्री गुरुदेव श्री भक्तचाल परमादेव स्वामी महाराज की
Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Chintamani Prakarasatmasu Kalpa Vriksha Laksha Videshu Surami Avivalayantam Lakshmi Sasha Sarasamrama
Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami.
Jai.
Ramam Vishwat Param Shubhagan Jatra Shila Shiva Shila Gurudev Shila Bhakti Ala Param Shila Ki Jai Shila Gurudev Shila Gurudev Om Shila Bhakti Gurudev